You're just starting. Wow. So much power, ladies. So much power. Okay, well,
much
never
light.
one to be a shrinking violet. I'm going to do things the other way round to the way they're normally done. I want to start by thanking all the people involved in organising today, which has been an amazing experience. And I want Jen to stand up and the organising committee up because they've done an amazing job. So thank you. Can I just say just a couple of things about today, and I'm really interested in what my colleagues all think, because I thought today was like a groundswell of like-minded, compassionate humans coming together to reflect on an amazing time. And I think the title, A New Way Forward, is really apt, because what I've heard across all the presentations is that there's a lot of hope. There's hope for that cultural change that Moses alluded to. There's a whole lot of discussion about things that are in place. Obviously, you'll understand that I'm very passionate about the Connect centres, and I'm really excited because that's the jewel in the crown for Tandem, as far as, you know, the families that have been fighting for recognition for many decades go. And a few people made some amazing comments, and Rose, you made a comment, important to remember the strength and superpowers that lies in families, and I think that's really, really important. That was one of the things that really stood out to me. And when presentations like multiple family models and the FAPMI program and Bouvary talked about single session family consultation, I was thinking about the Aboriginal social and emotional wellbeing model, and that's probably the closest we come to learning alongside our Aboriginal brothers and sisters. And I think that we have a great opportunity here to continue on that journey, and I feel like today's just the beginning. So that's just a couple of things from me for now.
Is there some special way of turning this? Oh, it's already on. Hi everybody, I'm Karen McAleer. I work at VATCHO. What am I there? I'm a clinical advisor, and my background is psychiatric nursing, and I am also a clinical psychologist with about 35 years in public and private mental health services. I also identify as a Wurundjeri woman, disconnected by historically from mob, by the stolen generation and the white Australian policy. So I have a long love affair with mental health services. My cultural connection with Aboriginal services has been a driving force in my promoting and delivering mental health services, because as it's a common term in these days is the social and emotional wellbeing model. 25 years ago, 35 years ago, that was just a foreign concept that mental health services said, you know, that it's not on. Whereas it's really enlightening now to hear that that's just a term that most people are familiar with. Today, I was really impressed with how many people are out there actually facilitating, even if you're unaware, trying to facilitate that social and emotional wellbeing model. I think we've all been in situations where we've had to fight the health service and the structure around hospital delivery. It's cold, it's unwelcoming, and it all works in silos. Whereas today, incorporating lived and living experience, incorporating families is part of that model. So it was just refreshing to hear how hard clinicians are working to do that. Ironically, a lot of that, again, seems to be outside the hospital model. So the hospital model seems to be one of our hugest barriers. So being upstairs today, listening to your talk about what you're doing at the Royal Melbourne Hospital and, you know, incorporating families, and that become that everybody has a voice was really impressive. What else did I write down here? I've put some points down. I've lost my thoughts now. And St Vincent's, using the family involvement in assessments. I was impressed to hear that, because when you go into a hospital system, the first thing they bang on about is confidentiality, duty of care. We can't talk to the family, we've got to talk to the consumer. So that was really refreshing to hear about that too. So, you know, in Aboriginal services, the social and emotional Wellbeing model is you walk in the front door. I need help. What help do you need? So in that, someone will get assistance with transport, assistance with housing, domestic violence, gambling, drug and alcohol. It's a one-stop shop. So today, hearing that in mainstream services, that model still trying to move forward to was really refreshing. So thank you guys for today.
Thank you. I'm going to just start by saying a very big thank you to Heather Pickard for being such a wonderful MC today. Just so amazing. And I also wanted just to say thank you for all the speakers and your generosity in your sharing. It's been just such a privilege to sit here and absorb everything, and you know, just events like this fill my heart, and I just have so much optimism after sitting here all day going, wow. And the change that people spoke of, and that last session, I was like, yeah, like it's time. We're here. It's so good. Some of the other things that stepped out for me today, really, it is about the relational practice, which I think is a sexy way of saying relationships. And because that's what I've heard all day. I've heard all day about how we do relationships and how we do them in all the different areas that we do them, with the different people that we do them with. And, you know, the thing I've taken, well, I'm going to take away too, is around really, you know, working with people that aren't like me, and looking for people that are on the margins of our society, and knowing that that's where we really need to focus the bulk of our effort, because if we lift those people up that are on the margins, the people in the middle, by that very motion, will also be uplifted. So that's something I'm going to take away from today. My learned colleague sent me some summary notes, which was very wonderful, about the strong and powerful theme that came through today from children and young people that are carers. And I think that's, you know, it's such a reminder of what we've got to do in that space. And I just wanted to say thank you for all of you that shared so honestly about your experiences. And the other thing I've written down here is that inequities are not unidimensional. And it's one of those things for me where, you know, a lot of our work is just about having gutsy conversations and putting yourself out of the way, taking yourself out of the equation, and just being a bit gutsy and getting in there and asking stuff no matter what you might think you might look like. Or, you know, there's some really, I was going to say some really inappropriate things just then, but I won't. But like, that don't fit in this context. But like, yeah, so true, thank you. But yeah, you know, just having the guts to ask the questions, and knowing that if you don't ask the question, that person in front of you, like, that can be a terrible outcome just in and of itself, because you haven't had the guts to ask the question. And I think that's personally something I've, as you know, a lived experience person in a leadership role, I've taken that responsibility into my heart, that's a real thing for me, that I've got to do that, I've got to role model that, I've got to show people how to sometimes do hard conversations or ask weird questions, or things that don't sit comfortably. So, but if all of us do it and make a commitment to do it, that's the start. That's how, you know, real social change gets going. So just, yeah, I could go on and on and on. I love the stuff too that's, people said that, and the way they so eloquently put it, just, they're sort of simple things and so obvious when people say them, but you actually need that mirrored back sometimes, about people needing basic support for living, that, you know, when people walk into services, they want to see the rainbow flag. They want to see that stuff that makes that gives them that connection. So sometimes it's not just about people, it's our environment and what we need to do to make sure that our environments are safe for everyone coming into them. Over to you, Katrina.
Thank you, everyone. I don't know how I can compete with that, but I'm going to focus on the carer lived experience workforce. And as you all start to create your reform strategies, include, the family carer lived experience workforce. And, we're a network in Victoria. CLUE represents almost 300 family care workers in Victoria, and that might sound wonderful, and I know you all want to applause, but we are only 1/3 to 1/4 of the consumer mental health workforce in Victoria. So when you are thinking about your strategies and you are thinking about roles and role types and perspectives, and we heard very loud today, the family care perspective is different. Mary told us right from the beginning, and Fiona, they are different perspectives working to the same agenda. We need to hear both voices and understand both perspectives. So please ask yourself, why not a carer too, when you start to put your pen to paper about a consumer workforce? So that's my rant. We are here, the CLUE support the carer workforce in Victoria. We are growing, but not at the rate we would like to. We do receive support in Victoria to meet regularly. We'd like to meet more regularly. There are reports at the moment you might be aware of, so Rising Together, Our Future report, both talk to CLUE being one of the main supports for the carer workforce. We are very much still isolated in many roles, particularly I want to mention regional. We had a bit of great regional perspective today, which was fabulous, but it's not enough. We need to keep talking regional and keep up that fight. I also want to mention just some words I heard today. I'm trying to keep it short. I know Heather's got to get out of here as well soon, and we all want to get home. But words jumping out for me today were really important, and it started with things like interconnection. Curiosity came up time and time again. Partnerships, not just collaboration. We heard also about lived experience, and we heard about leadership. We heard about worldviews, and thank you, Heather, for bringing that in, because that is part of the way that the carer workforce work, in intentional peer support as well. So they are some of the ways that we think about working with people as well. Relationships came up time and time again, not surprising, because we had that in our heading, and I have to tell you, this title took us, Jen is laughing, but the working group here, this took us the best part of a year to come up with this title, because we wanted you to come and look at you. You're all here. We filled our wonderful venue, which is brilliant. So thank you for coming, and we hope that helped make it something you want to know more about. So we really appreciate you coming. Culture came up time and time again, and I'm going to talk a bit more about culture as I finish up in a minute. Inclusivity, balancing power. This is important for family carers too, not just consumers. We need to balance the power and balance the numbers in the workforce. I hope your tool belt is becoming full today with everything that you've learnt, that you're building, your skill set, adopting change. Loved that comment. Getting into the heads of us and the carer workforce. Get in our heads. We want to talk to you. We want to share what we know. So, do that. Ask us. Also, we want to share the same things as what Mary talked about. We aren't, we want to, get involved, consumers, carers, and clinical workforce. Be genuinely curious. I really love that from our cultural perspective today as well. And mirroring, and you mentioned that, so I won't go more into that. Use us as a reflective tool for you. We would love to help support you with that. I think if I could just ask you now to jump on the 4 o'clock culture change train, because it's leaving the station soon. So don't, if you've got your ticket, get on board or you're going to miss out. So we'd really love to see you hop on that train with us and take the journey into the next year. I'd like to finish by thanking Heather Pickard for her beautiful contribution today. She's a lovely friend of Clue and Tandem, and we really value that friendship and longevity of support that we've received through you. So thank you. Jen Bitte, stand up. My wonderful co-chair, but really I can't claim my half of the co so well because Jen, you did all the background work. So really appreciate and value everything that you did. So, and thank you to the working group and everyone on the panel here today. I think I'm taking your job, but you can. That's all from me. Thank you.